In the film 2001: A Space Odyssey, directed by Stanley Kubrick, we see a beautiful work of art. This sci-fi adventure film is about a mysterious monolith that connects the past to the future. The first part of Kubrick's film traces from the beginning of time to a space mission to the moon in year 2001. The majority of the film revolves around how humans are trying to get to Jupiter, all while partnered with HAL 9000, an artificial intelligence. As humans advance, they're finding more monoliths which point towards the unknown. My first reaction to the plot in this movie was it kind of felt slow. A lot of this film was left up to our imagination. The long shots in this movie give us a chance to contemplate our own ideas about what is happening. This film isn't trying to give us the thrill of a typical sci-fi movie, but leave us in awe and wonder. Kubrick really likes to stretch these shots to make us really think. I did find the plot still somewhat believable, but there aren't really any right or wrong answers to what this film really meant. The idea of space travel and artificial intelligence is becoming more apparent in our reality, in our everyday lives. We're seeing this all the time. We're seeing more examples of this as time goes on. And this movie is 55 years old and it's already predicting this. The acting in this film is significant to the film since most of it is in silence. One of the best performances is done by the voice of HAL, done by Douglas Rain.
The 9000 series is the most reliable computer ever made. No 9000 computer has ever made a mistake or distorted information.
His voice is soft and calming, which adds a lot to the film. Our first impressions of HAL is he's here to help, but we soon find out HAL has a dark side.
I'm afraid I can't do that. This mission is too important for me to allow you to jeopardize it.
How Keir Dullea and Gary Lockwood act as well is well thought out to fit Kubrick's style of filming. Their acting wasn't fast-paced like typical films. It was slowed down to a normal, real-life pace which matches the rest of the film. Their acting also contrasts the stability and reliability of humans when HAL inevitably cracks under pressure. Classic Hollywood style helps the film because it doesn't quite fit in. The movie breaks out of what the classic Hollywood style was trying to do, leaving the ending open-ended, leaving a lot of the meaning up to us, having these long shots that really make us think about what it all means. It does in a poetic way, which makes this movie really great. It only allows us to figure out our own meaning, but leaves so much up to question, which really makes the film a lot more enjoyable. Now, let's talk about the mise-en-scène, because that's another really important element of this film, which we see many examples of. The mise-en-scène was really thought out to help convey what Kubrick was trying to say, because he didn't have a lot of words to convey this meaning, and one of the greatest examples of this in this movie was like the last 10 minutes, where we see this hotel room. In this sequence, we see this hotel room. It's a replica hotel room that serves as a temporary location from some alien power. The scene represents the attempt by alien power to try to create a room that is as human-like as possible. The room is an attempt to be luxurious. Also know how everything is symmetrical in this room. This almost completely white room represents cleanliness and purity and perfection. The superior force attempted to make a perfect room where Dave could live the rest of his days. He uses several cuts and POV shots to allow us to see Dave's life flash before his eyes. Dave sees himself get older and older until he transforms into a new life. First he's standing in the bedroom, middle-aged, in his spacesuit, then a little older and dressed. And finally he's on his deathbed. If you notice, the furniture also in this room is tinted green, and this represents life. Even though Dave's life is ending, a new life is forming. There are several themes in this film. One of the central themes is the evolution of man. The movie starts with the apes, where we see the first monolith appear. The first monolith connects millions of years later to 2001, where another monolith is found on the moon. Man had to evolve to be able to find the next monolith on the moon. Man then evolved some more, and with all 100% of Hal's help, man is able to advance exploration to Jupiter. The evolution did have an end, though, and that was with Dave, in which he evolved into an embryo as he reached out for the last and final monolith that would be discovered. All in all, I would give this film a positive review, a good thumbs up. I loved the film style that was used, and I loved how he broke out of the traditional Hollywood style. I like how he left the ending open-ended. I like how he left it up to our imagination to figure out what each shot meant. Because a lot of it didn't always make sense, but you just have to it's fun to make sense of it yourself. And everyone's going to see it differently, and I'm sure I could watch it again and get a completely new meaning, which I really like about this film. I admire the work that he put into this and all the technology that he had to use to be able to create all these amazing shots and get these amazing sequences. And most of all, I like how everything just worked together. The music was just beautiful. Just all these beautiful shots, beautiful music. It was just a beautiful movie to watch. Even if it wasn't going to be the most entertaining, I still found it to leave me in awe and wonder of just how amazing and how beautiful everything was. And that's it. Thank you.